Away from that now, President Bola Tinubu has held a private meeting with Pastor Tunde Bakare, the serving overseer of the Citadel Global Community Church, to discuss Nigeria's development and future direction. The meeting, which took place on Wednesday in Lagos, was confirmed in a post by presidential aide Bayo Onanuga. Although the details of the discussion were not made public, sources say the focus was on fostering unity and strengthening collaboration among Nigeria's diverse regions to drive peace and progress. Bakare expressed optimism about seeing a well-functioning Nigeria in his lifetime. He also noted that while he may share ideas, the implementation ultimately rests with the president. The meeting follows weeks of public criticism directed at Bakare by members of the Senate over comments he made about the 10th National Assembly.
Well, it's not about just reservations. It's about how the country will go well. My life personal vision is to see a nation that works in my lifetime. And those things I've discussed with Mr. President. They're not hidden things, but I've learned that when you discuss with the person in charge, you leave it with him to do whatsoever he wills with what you have suggested. So I've had a private conversation with Mr. President, and I'm glad that he received me well, and I trust that God will help our nation. What transpired in my discussion with him stays with me and with him. God guiding him and giving him wisdom will help this nation not to slide or go down the drain, but to bounce back so that it can leave a mark that cannot be erased. Well, I like to see a peaceful nation. I like to see Nigerians being their brother's keeper. I like to see good collaboration between the best of the North and the best of the South to steer Nigeria in the right direction. I like to see predictable progress in our nation. We have danced around some subjects for too long a time. It's time to take concrete action to ensure that the mercies of our country do not live in abject poverty.
Now, joining us to discuss more on this and more, we're joined by public affairs analyst Wole Oladapo. Thank you so much for joining us, Wole Oladapo. Now, I'm going to start off by asking, what practical steps do you think that Nigeria can take to foster genuine national unity among its diverse ethnic and regional groups, especially in light of the ongoing tensions?
Well, thank you very much. It is important for us as Nigerians to foster peace and peaceful coexistence, because without it, Nigeria goes nowhere as a nation. And one of the steps that could be taken is that the leadership of the country should ensure that citizens have access to the basic amenities of life, to curtail inflation and make sure that citizens have access to the best of social amenities. That way, it is easier to be your brother's keeper, it is easier to be a nationalist, it is easier to be patriotic. Because you see, when it becomes survival of the fittest, there is an outlook that comes on everyone for survival. And you don't care who succeeds God, you don't care what happens to the next man if your survival is threatened. So one of the practical steps that can be taken by leadership is, one, make the economy better for the citizenry. Do not compound the economic challenges and woes that the citizens are currently going through. That way, it becomes easier for us to contribute our own quota as citizens to development in the nation.
So how would you say that, how significant would you say that the role of political dialogue and private meetings is, such as the one between the President Tinubu and Pastor Bakare following the backlash that he got in shaping Nigeria's future?
Yes, it's a good one. Statesmen have responsibilities of guiding and guarding the nation so that the nation can be steered to, a safe harbor. Following the backlash, what Pastor Bakare did earlier was not statesmanly. And it was not statesmanly because consistency had been lacked. All through President Buhari's regime, despite and in spite of all that happened, Pastor Tunde Bakare never raised his voice to the happenings in the nation. While some of us were calling attention to issues, he never for once, perhaps because he was expecting, like he said, that he was going to be the 16th president after Buhari. Perhaps. However, his outburst at how President Bola Tinubu was governing the nation was not statesmanly. How do you sit to read an address and you didn't see anything good in what the person was doing, and you have just rubbished the whole thing, you were just, lambasting the Senate? Under President Muhammadu Buhari, we had a Senate president who told us that there is nothing the president will do that will not sanction or abide by or approve, even without scrutiny. And you were here as a statesman in court, and we did not hear your voice. And now another man has come who you contested against, and all you could do was to bring that. So the backlash from the Senate and from other Nigerians is in order. However, this effort, this step that he has now taken by going to meet the president, privately, is a good one for the nation. This is not to say he does not have a right to voice out his opinion about happenings in the nation. No, that's not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is that